Status quo where I worked at yesterday. That situation out there with the storm that's coming in, we got a low pressure that's coming off of California, on Southern California, and there's another low pressure that's coming in around Washington State, right up by where Washington and Canada meet, and that one is going to enhance the storm, and it's going to be all the way from Albuquerque all the way over to the coast.
Big time.
From what I've seen, and that's what they were showing last night on the news, and there's going to be a lot of ice in this one. It looked like to me just south of Nashville. Well, like even Nashville is probably going to get in on it too as well. There's going to be a lot of snow and ice. I mean, it's just like the southern part of it's going to be the ice, like Alabama and Georgia.
Yep.
I wouldn't even be surprised over there by where Brain Dead and all those guys are at. That area gets a little bit of ice too, so it's going to be pretty bad. What do you think, buddy?
Based on all the models, I mean, they're still, the models are jumping up and down. Yeah, but I mean, some of these are saying up to 2 inches of ice, maybe in parts of central and northern Georgia. I mean, you talk about crippling. That's unheard of.
Absolutely. I mean, you put ice on trees and that pulls the tree down. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, it's the way it goes. And I saw some, things about southeast Kentucky. They talking about a lot of snow up in southeast Kentucky, Steve. Did you see anything about that?
Yeah, the models are more and more depicting, rather than snow, that they're also going to see the warmer air overriding the cold air. They may be in more of an ice situation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did some research yesterday. I'm like thinking to myself, about this deal with Greenland and all that, and why would we want to go to Greenland? Well, we had talked about that ship that got away from them in Venezuela and ended up by Scotland before they got it. And we had to mobilize a lot of folks to get up there to that ship, and it took a pretty good planning situation to get logistically to get everything where it needed to be at to get that ship. But did you ever remember the submarine Nautilus, Steve?
Not the submarine. I remember the Nautilus from, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Okay, well, the Nautilus is a submarine that we have. And it's a nuclear-powered submarine. It's the first one that the United States possessed. In 1958, they took that sub from Alaska underneath the Arctic Ocean over to Greenland. Okay? We were the first country to traverse the Arctic Ocean underneath it with a submarine. That was a nuclear submarine. It had nuclear power, and it also had nuclear armament. Okay? And if you look at the world's map at the top, that area from up there by Scotland all the way over to Greenland, we have nothing there that's telling us where the Russians are at. The Russians can bring their subs down through that area, go into the North Atlantic, and be right off our coast before we know it, and we wouldn't even know it. And that's why we're doing what we're doing. Another thing, that reason we're doing what we're doing is the rare earth minerals, Steve. Where are most of the world rare earth minerals found? They're found at the top of the earth. Okay? Where the heck is Greenland? It's on the top of the earth. Okay? Canada is dwindling a lot of rare earth minerals in Canada. I mean, they're still finding it there and stuff, but it's dwindling down. Oh, by the way, folks, where is some else of the rare earth minerals at? Down below the equator. Mm-hmm. What's below the equator? Venezuela. Why do we want to go to Venezuela? Okay? Why does President Trump want to make a deal with Ukraine for rare earth minerals? Look where it's at. It's up towards the top of the world. I mean, it makes common sense. Now, obviously, we can't go to Antarctica because we have this treaty about Antarctica that we can't touch any of the stuff down in Antarctica. The bottom of the earth has a lot of minerals too, but it also is a harsh environment, and it takes a lot of money and a lot of stuff to get that down there and get things going. Okay? And I'm surprised that they haven't pursued that a little bit more, but that they have a treating against that we can't do that. But that's what this deal about Greenland is about. I mean, it's about us finding out where everybody is, and it's also about the rare earth minerals. That's what it's about. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yep.
We have to have these minerals to make batteries. We have to have those minerals to make connectors, semiconductors. We need to supply a lady up in Cincinnati area so she can do her soldering. And if she doesn't have the right materials to do her soldering, she doesn't have a job. You know what I mean, Steve? So it's like that's where all this rare earth mineral thing comes into the situation. Have you noticed that that has been brought up every time one of these treaties or anything's going on? Rare earth minerals.
Yep.
And that's what we're looking at. Okay? And it's clear cut and dry. Rockets can't fly off the pad without semiconductors. You can't have satellites without semiconductors. You can't have cars without this stuff. You can't have there's a lot of things you can't have without the electronics, and that is all rare earth minerals that makes those electronics. So there you go. Hopefully that makes some sense about it, you know? So, but other than that, we're going to have a good day, hopefully. Everything goes all right. And I hope Eagle figures it out in Albuquerque. If not, he can stay with Heatwave over there. I'm pretty sure maybe Heatwave's got a spare bed over there. He can chill out with Heatwave or Right Wing Nut.
Right.
And, you know, you're not going to, and I've seen it with hurricanes before. Don't try to run away from no doggone storm. You try to run away from a storm, you're going to get caught right up in the middle of it. I mean, we've seen that with Helene, you know. I mean, sure, we got tore up bad down here in Florida, especially the West Coast. But look what happened in North Carolina. You know what I mean? And a lot of people go to Georgia. They go to North Carolina with the storms hit down here. You know, so it's one of them deals. But you have a good day, buddy. I appreciate everybody.
All right. Thank you much. So, in other words, yeah, you can't outsmart Mother Nature, right? I had saved a very brilliant piece, kind of explaining in depth what Philip was just explaining. Yeah, the rare earths, the strategic significance. Let me see. Got a few minutes. We can see if I can get through this. The world is rearming, he says. America is repositioning. And too many people still think it's about politics. If you think this is about Greenland, you're already behind. Yeah, Greenland doesn't belong to us. That sounds reasonable. It sounds polite. And it completely ignores how power actually works. You can skim a few shallow takes that repeat the same safe talking points, or you can spend a few minutes and understand what's really happening. He said, I did not write this for those that are easily offended. If your first instinct is emotional outrage, pause and ask yourself an honest question. When has comfort ever stopped a rising threat? Right now, Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin are watching the West closely, not angrily, curiously, likely wondering how the United States ever became a superpower and how it managed to stay one for so long. Yeah, we'll come back to them. But first, Greenland and the free world. What Donald Trump did was say out loud what global leaders have been whispering for decades. The United States has been carrying the free world, and the free world got comfortable with it. NATO is not what it used to be, and everybody knows it. Yeah, NATO was built when Europe remembered what real war costs. Leaders understood how global conflicts begin, not just how they end. That seriousness is gone. Many NATO nations have slashed their own military spending, opened their borders without control, adopted internal policies that weakened national cohesion and outsourced their security to the United States. Then they turn to America and say, you got us, right? That's not partnership, that's dependency. What an ally actually is, let's be honest. An ally isn't someone who smiles while you fund them and then attacks you the moment you assert your own interest. An ally shares your values, defends itself, stands with you when it's uncomfortable, not just convenient. Yeah, many so-called allies no longer meet that standard. They've weakened themselves. They've relied on American protection. They've criticized the very country ensuring they survive. That's not alliance. That's reliance. And another uncomfortable truth, allies are not unconditional friends. Nations don't survive on emotion or moral signaling. They survive on reciprocity, strength, and shared interest. That's why Trump was attacked. When the U.S. demanded NATO countries pay their share and take responsibility, the response wasn't cooperation, it was outrage. That reaction reveals everything. Real allies don't complain when they're asked to carry their own weight. Canada, perfect example. Ask yourself honestly, if the U.S. stopped defending Canada tomorrow, how long would they last? Russia wouldn't hesitate. They would abandon the hard fight in Ukraine for a far easier, richer target in Canada. We'll pick up there after this.
Want to put your business on a brand that is heard in some of the biggest radio markets on some of the biggest radio stations in the United States? Or maybe you want to have your brand take advantage of the explosive growth in podcasting. Why not do both? The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive offers the best of both worlds and is ready to put your business at the front of everyone's waking thoughts.
I'm sorry, am I moving too quickly for you?
Well, at least you'll be on their mind in there somewhere. For sure, the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive was recently named one of the top 15 late-night shows in America. So advertising on the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive will put you in front of the very clients you want to walk through your front door. Interested? Maybe you want to take a test drive, kick the tires, do a sample tasting, which might be kind of gross. Get details at overnightdriveradio.com or email rwild@lubricationspecialties.com. And let's put the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive to work for you today.
Well, we're off the air. For good, I think.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late-night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero.
Yeah, the Golden Dome, and they're going to be involved in the Golden Dome. And they're going to be involved in mineral rights, and so are we.
President Trump says the framework for a long-term deal on Greenland is now in place. While speaking with CNBC, he says the U.S. and European allies will cooperate on the Golden Dome defense system as well as mineral rights.
Forever. It'll be forever.
Trump stresses Greenland's strategic value between the U.S. and Europe and the need to act before Russia or China tries to move in. The FCC is clarifying rules on political candidates appearing on talk shows. Its equal time rule still applies, but no new regulations have been adopted, meaning shows like The View remain exempt as news programming. Broadcasters are urged not to shy away from critical coverage out of fear of retaliation. At the World Economic Forum in Davos, tech ethicist Tristan Harris is calling for a people-first approach in Silicon Valley.
So now all these companies were instead trying to improve the health of society rather than the other way around.
Harris told the Mostly Human podcast he'd like online platforms to show agreement instead of division, and challenged tech companies to sell only products their own children use for 8 hours a day. Pending home sales plunged last month.
According to the National Association of Realtors survey, pending sales of existing homes fell 9.3% across the U.S. between November and December. Sales are down to their lowest point in 5 months. Economists say rising home prices and fewer listings offset lower interest rates. I'm at Mattinson.
Wall Street closed higher.
At the closing bell, the Dow rose 588 points. The S&P 500 climbed 78 points, and the Nasdaq jumped 270 points. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
From America's News Network USA Radio News.
No matter who we are or where we come from, we all experience difficulties in life.
Military veterans know that sometimes it takes strength and determination to make it through.
Whether it's obvious physical challenges or struggles on the inside, it takes strength to ask for help when you need it.
I knew that I had to get support, not just for me, but for the sake of my wife and kids.
Talking about it has helped me feel more like myself again.
Honestly, it was hard to open up at first, but it's changed my life for the better.
Learn how veterans like us have reached out for help, and hear stories of strength and recovery at MakeTheConnection.net.
The nursing director at an Arkansas retirement home in Batesville has been accused of stealing a patient's prescription pills.
Carla Shaw pled not guilty to drug charges. The 51-year-old was fired from her job at the Springs of Batesville nursing home. The administration found medication, including oxycodone and morphine, were unaccounted for. The arrest report shows Shaw admitted she's addicted to pain pills, which she was popping at work. John Sommers, USA Radio News.
The man shot in the leg by an ICE agent in North Minneapolis last week appeared in federal court today. Prosecutors allege Julio Cesar Souza Celis and another man resisted arrest and assaulted an officer before the agent fired. Defense testimony and evidence have conflicted with that account. A judge granted conditional release for both men, although that decision was temporarily stayed. Former Uvalde school officer Adrian Gonzalez has been found not guilty of failing to protect students during the 2022 Robb Elementary School shooting that killed 19 children and 2 teachers.
In each of the 29 counts, we, the jury, find the defendant, Adrian Gonzalez, not guilty.
That verdict followed 7 hours of jury deliberations after a 2-week trial which examined the actions of Gonzalez, including whether he delayed entering the classroom before the shooter was stopped.
I've been praying for them. We pray for them. Sorry that they feel that way. We understand that their separation from their loved one is going to be felt as long as they walk on this earth, and we don't ignore that. We acknowledge that.
For USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero.
Would you know where to turn if you or a loved one became paralyzed? For thousands of families, the National Paralysis Resource Center has been that lifeline. But now federal funding's at risk. Sherman Gillums Jr., a partially paralyzed Marine veteran with the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, explains why.
This is about more than just a budget line. It's about veterans, caregivers, and families, real people who need these resources to live more productive and independent lives.
Learn more at ChristopherReeve.org.
Keep the bugs off your glass and the smokies off your ass. This is the Overnight Drive with Steve Summers.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive, available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
All right, as we cross over the midnight hour on the West Coast, welcome into a Thursday. Yeah, coming up, we'll try to break it down. Just how cold is it gonna get? Following our big storm over the weekend, the impacts potentially when it comes to the trucking industry logistics if the Big D gets iced over. First, I want to finish up. We rolled into the news break there, talking about how the world is changing. NATO is not what it used to be. Grump clearly brought out earlier that so many of those countries, they wouldn't survive without us. We left off Canada directly. If we stop defending Canada tomorrow, how long would they last? A week, a day? Probably surrender in 24 hours, but Canada feels free to openly criticize the United States. Why? Because they know a hostile power on America's northern border is not acceptable. Their freedom to criticize us exists because we protect them. Think about that. Liberalism on the world stage. It is very dangerous. This needs to be said plainly. Liberalism is dangerous globally because it is emotional, unserious, unprepared for a world that punishes weakness. Across parts of Europe, the UK, Australia, speech is now being fined or criminalized. Governments decide acceptable opinions. Dissent is treated like a threat. That is not freedom. It is not the behavior of an ally. Now ask yourself, do China or Russia allow open borders? Do they tolerate dissent when power is threatened? Hell no. China is imprisoning millions of Uyghurs. Russia has slaughtered over 1 million Ukrainians. China has nearly doubled their military spending, built the world's largest navy, developed hypersonic missiles, purchased land globally for strategic positioning. Those weapons are not symbolic. They already have targets. Meanwhile, Western leaders pretend the world's safe while hiding behind our strength. So the choice is simple. The world will follow one of two systems: the United States or China and Russia. There's no third option waiting in the wings. Europe cannot defend itself without us. Canada can't. Australia can't. If America falls, freedom doesn't relocate. It collapses everywhere. Greenland is about defending freedom everywhere. It's not about flags or profit. Greenland is one of the most strategically critical defense positions on the planet. It is a gateway to North America. Modern missile technology moves faster than legacy defense systems were built to stop. Greenland is essential for early detection and interception before threats reach our cities. Our military planners know this. NATO knows this. Denmark knows this. But the U.S. cannot build permanent trillion-dollar defense infrastructure, including next-generation missile defense on land governed by foreign law. Treaties are not secure enough for systems of that scale. So ask yourself, if NATO truly stands with America, why oppose America protecting itself? Sending military forces to Greenland before negotiations even begin, that's not partnership, that's fear. NATO's real fear. Here's what they won't say out loud. They fear once America fully secures North America, we won't need them. And they're not wrong. Under current leadership and policies, NATO has become more burden than a benefit. America has already increased military spending from roughly 3% toward 5% of GDP. That alone tells you how serious the threat picture really is. At some point, it makes sense to stop writing blank checks to governments that refuse to defend themselves. That doesn't mean abandoning allies. It means redefining responsibility. Yeah, what Donald Trump is actually doing. This is not aggression. It is preparation. You secure your home first, or you lose everything. Greenland isn't about control. It's about survival in a hostile world. That's not comforting. It isn't polite. It will not make everybody feel good. But those who've lived long enough to understand that lesson, weakness masquerading as virtue leads to collapse. Reality doesn't care about feelings. It only responds to strength. Very well said. Have no idea who actually put that together. Sounds like something the Grump might write, but that's it. That's the true explanation of how the world has really become dependent. The free world, I should say, so dependent on us. All right, the cold is a-coming, all right? The cold's coming to much of central and eastern U.S. in the path of a major winter storm. It will be harsh. It will be dangerous, especially where the power's out and the roads are covered in ice or deep snow. From Texas to Tennessee, Georgia, the Carolinas, energy demand is going to soar in the days surrounding and following this storm as hundreds of millions of people turn up the thermostat. Yeah, the risk of frozen pipes will be significant, and even in areas where power remains during long-duration sub-freezing temperatures. Now, the first burst of Arctic air chilled the Midwest and the Northeast Tuesday and Wednesday mornings. Now, this upcoming wave late this week over the northern plains and upper Midwest areas further south later this weekend to early next week. It's going to be the coldest we've seen so far. Atlanta, you are now facing an increasing risk of a major ice storm that in a worst-case scenario could shut down travel for days. Ice accretion on power lines and limbs will trigger widespread power outages over the weekend. Power outages paired with sub-freezing temperatures could become life-threatening for those without generators or a way to heat their home. Yeah, people need to prepare for the risk of losing electricity or heat for days, maybe up to a week or longer in the hardest-hit areas of this storm. AccuWeather says the combination of ice, snow, and bitter cold will slow efforts to repair the downed power lines and clear the roads after the storm. Temperatures forecast to dip to near freezing as far south as New Orleans, Jacksonville, Florida, and Brownsville, Texas, in the wake of this storm. Now, those areas are not forecast to be in the path of the major ice, but it just demonstrates the extent of the upcoming cold air. Areas expected well into the deep freeze and receiving ice or snow from the storm with a risk of lengthy power outages include Atlanta, Dallas, and Charlotte, with a projected low in the teens. Nashville forecast to dip into the single digits. Meanwhile, on the snowy side, where power outages may be more sporadic, temperatures are projected to be below zero in Oklahoma City. This metro area may stay below freezing from Thursday evening right through next Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures forecast to drop below freezing and stay there 48 to 60 hours in Dallas, where widespread power outages are anticipated. Even after the snow and ice subside across the south, central, and southeast, some locations will be slow to get above freezing. Where it does get above freezing, it may only be for a few hours, and then followed by refreezing of wet and slushy areas during the overnight hours. Over the northern parts of the plains and upper Midwest, away from the storm's ice and snow, temperatures will plummet well below zero and stay there day with 1 or 2 more nights with lows in the teens to 20s below zero. Temperatures in Detroit forecast to drop to -10, 12 below in Chicago, 20 below in Minneapolis, and a whopping 40 below zero in International Falls, Minnesota. Those are not wind chills, those are air temperatures. When the winds kick up away from the storm over the upper Midwest, wind chill factors 30 to 60 below zero. At that level, the cold is extremely dangerous with a high risk of frostbite and hypothermia in a matter of minutes. The combination of severe cold and shoveling snow can put an extreme strain on cardiovascular systems in some people, even in good health. In other words, extreme caution is advised, as Big Ed earlier said. Some of us old pot-bellied pigs that think we're fit, don't get out there with the shovel and give yourself a heart attack. Now, I know in areas where it's really cold, the snow's going to be the very light, fluffy kind. Snow blowers and things of that nature should work very well. But the areas that are on the warmer side with the heavy, wet snow, they call them cardiac snow events. Heart attacks waiting to happen. Blind man, are you with us? Blind man, I maybe he had pushed mute. You got your mute on your phone, maybe? Because we tried to get to him earlier. All right, maybe a third time's a charm. I'll see what we have going on with Carl. Take 2. Carl, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Steve. Appreciate you taking my call. Got rain here in Alabama here this morning. It's a little bit warm, about 45. But yeah, I live in southeastern Kentucky up there, Corbin. And, yeah, the weather is, saying that we're supposed to get some ice there. I don't know, ice and a little snow, about 12 inches, I think, is what they're, forecasting up there for Saturday, especially. So, it looks like it's going to be a, keep yourself warm weekend. You know,
right.
Up there. So, but hopefully the power won't go off too long if it does. But yeah, that's bad for a lot of people. So yeah, getting into the issues of the day here. A couple of weeks ago, I don't know if anybody thought that Trump would have made such progress that he's made so far. But you know what? By the end of the month, I predicted that we would have Greenland pretty much going on the agenda there. And so that was what I was thinking right at the top of the month there. By the end of this month, and he is making world record progress on that issue. And a lot of people just couldn't get it, but it is very important that we get into that part of the world there and form that partnership that we need to form up there. And it would benefit Europe. It would benefit Denmark. It would benefit all of those countries, Germany, Great Britain, France. It would benefit so many people in that area. Italy, it would benefit them all. Okay, and just getting into Canada here, we need to form a better relationship than what we have with them. You know, Canada is very important too as well. Not really talking about acquiring Canada, but it would be nice, you know, if we did. the liberalism in Canada is exploded here in recent years. It's just amazing how much of Trump derangement syndrome and MAGA, the Make America Great syndrome, again, that they have up there. They're just not really in line with what needs to be going on, you know, and I think that Trump would do well to remove China from Taiwan if he would get involved a lot more with Taiwan as well, and form partnerships with Taiwan a little better than what we've got. And, you know, our partnership with Japan is growing, and that's after we had dropped 2 nuclear bombs on Japan because of their ill plans for us and America with what they did in Hawaii at Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor was a disaster for Japan. They should never have thought that they would do. I don't know what their plans and what they were thinking when they decided to hit us so hard and at Hawaii and Pearl Harbor there. That was horrible for them because we had to come back on that, and we did decisively. And so that's what happens. And we have now formed a genuine partnership with Japan over there, and Japan is we've got bases all over Japan now, and our military is flourishing in Japan, and they are protecting Japan, helping to protect them. And I know we've got Guam there too as well, and but we need to form a better partnership with the Philippines too as well. We removed 2 bases in particular in the Philippines with Clark Air Force Base we used to have, and we have it no longer, and as well as the Subic Bay there outside of Manila, okay, right there at Manila, Subic Bay, and we had a submarine base there for years, and now no longer we have those bases, and it would benefit us to thwart China and everything that they have in mind there with those islands and all of that stuff that they're building out there. And if we could form a better partnership with Vietnam too as well, that would be nice. I realize they are basically a communist country there in Vietnam, but you know, we spent a lot of time there, you know, and we lost a lot of blood in Vietnam, okay, and our sons and our daughters, people, our uncles and aunts, and people in our families. We lost a lot there, and so I think that all of that would benefit us, and Thailand too as well, you know. So if Trump could get involved with the Pacific region a little bit more, I think he may do that. He's world record. I mean, he's probably better than any other president that we've had combined in our lifetimes. Combined, he's done more, and he's gotten results, and did a lot more than any of our presidents, including Ronald Reagan, in our lifetime. I mean, he's just amazing, really, what he's done here. And I appreciate him for that. And thank you for taking my call, Steve.
Carl, thank you for being with us. Safe travels out there. Have a good morning. Dallas, Texas, in the crosshairs. The sprawling economic powerhouse, often dubbed the Big D, is standing on the brink of a potential shutdown this weekend as this storm barrels in. With the population exceeding 8 million across more than 16,000 square miles, making it the 4th largest metro in the country. DFW isn't just a big city in Texas. It is a global freight nexus. Home to major corporations, distribution hubs, transportation networks. The region's economy thrives on moving billions of dollars in goods annually. But if the forecast holds, ice accumulations could ice in this vital node, triggering cascading disruptions across supply chains. The Arctic mass plunging into North Texas starting Friday. That wintry mix rain, freezing rain, sleet, snow through Sunday. There are winter storm watches currently in effect for the DFW area, predicting up to half an inch of ice in some locations. Temperatures tumbling into the teens and single digits, wind chills of 10 below. This is not a cute, nostalgic holiday snowfall. It's a sheet of ice that could coat roads, bridges, and power lines. Widespread power outages, hazardous conditions. Unlike the deadly 2021 Uri storm, this may be shorter-lived, but its post-holiday timing could make freight woes worse. The transportation infrastructure, a linchpin for U.S. logistics, in DFW is particularly vulnerable. The region boasts an intricate web of interstates, including cross-country corridor I-35, 20, I-45, which funnel millions of truckloads every year. Ice on these highways spells disaster. Slick surfaces cause pileups, closures, detours, stranding drivers, and halting deliveries. Bridges and overpasses like those spanning the Trinity River or elevated sections of I-30 are notorious choke points. They freeze first, increasing the risk of structural strain from ice weight and traffic halts. Past events like 2021 saw highways iced over for days, crippling trucking operations. The rail networks don't fare much better. DFW hosts massive yards for BNSF and Union Pacific handling intermodal cargo from coast to heartland. Ice can buckle tracks due to contraction, while snow and sleet disrupt switches and signals, leading to delays or sometimes shutdowns. In 2021, rail service ground to a halt amid power failures, echoing potential repeats coming this way. We'll pause.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. President Trump says a long-term deal on Greenland is infinite, giving the U.S. control over mineral rights and the Golden Dome defense system.
It'll be forever.
While speaking with CNBC, Trump said the framework was reached with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte and is designed to secure Greenland before Russia or China can move in. A federal judge in Portland, Oregon, has denied bail for 34-year-old Luis Nino Moncada, accused of driving towards Custom and Border Protection agents. Prosecutors say he nearly struck multiple agents before one fired, wounding him and a female passenger who faces immigration-related charges. Defense claims there's no evidence that shows intent to do harm. Wall Street closed in the green.
At the closing bell, the Dow rose 588 points. The S&P 500 climbed 78 points, and the Nasdaq jumped 270 points. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Maybe this is you too. There's enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It is amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled. And it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives. And MediShare is proven you can save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Over 1 million Americans are now part of healthcare sharing, and MediShare is the gold standard. It's trusted. It works. It's been helping people save money and have peace of mind now for 30 plus years. It's not some big impersonal thing either. It's a community of people like you helping each other. So yeah, if you're frustrated too, here's your chance to make a refreshing change. You'll notice the difference as soon as you call. They're easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number. Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late-night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive. Available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Diesel owners know if you take care of your engine, it'll return the favor. Hot Shot Secret formulates additives that help you prevent problems and boost performance. Diesel Extreme cleans internal and external injector deposits, and EDT increases fuel economy by up to 7.3%, scientifically proven by third-party testing. Add Hot Shot Secret at your next fill-up to get the most out of your diesel. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today. Want to put your business on a brand that is heard in some of the biggest radio markets on some of the biggest radio stations in the United States? Or maybe you want to have your brand take advantage of the explosive growth in podcasting. Why not do both? The Steve Summers Overnight Drive offers the best of both worlds and is ready to put your business at the front of everyone's waking thoughts.
I'm sorry, am I moving too quickly for you?
Well, at least you'll be on their mind in there somewhere. For sure, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive was recently named one of the top 15 late-night shows in America. So advertising on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive will put you in front of the very clients you want to walk through your front door. Interested? Maybe you want to take a test drive, kick the tires, do a sample tasting, which might be kind of gross. Get details at overnightdriveradio.com or email rwild@lubricationspecialties.com. And let's put the Steve Summers Overnight Drive to work for you today.
Well, we're off the air. For good, I think.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
Okay, we're back. Yeah, where we leave off there. Hello to Roki. He said, when it comes to the snow, he said, I always clean our driveway by the inch. Push it rather than shovel it. It's a lot easier, avoids that cardiac risk. All right, shoveling time coming your way. If you get out there every inch you get there, Roki, you're gonna shovel the driveway 17 times. That's all right. Oh my, let's get back at it here. Scrapyard, waving all five at us. What's going on, Scrapyard?
What's happening there, Captain? Out here undergoing a trucker stress test. We're getting a freezing fog event out here on Interstate 40. From the 60-mile marker to the 74, visibility is only about a trailer length. And then over from the 94 to the 107, same situation. We're already starting to get some black ice formation out here. The Hammer Lane, has less of a thermal load. And, God damn it, ran over I just made a highway hamburger, ran over a dead deer. Dadgummit.
Whoops.
all these production plants out here cranking out a lot of steam into the atmosphere, and that nuclear power plant, it was really bad over there from the 60 to the 74, and it's pretty much freezing to whatever it's touching. All these road signs out here look glittery and fuzzy. So that y'all keep your head on the swivel with that, because it's quite interesting out here right now.
I do see the dense fog advisories, like from the Boot Heel of Missouri through much of Arkansas, western Tennessee. So where's your temperature at? Is it right there close to freezing, or?
28.
28. Okay, so you would have some.
Yeah,
freezing
28.
fog.
28 Dungarees Frankenstein.
So that'll be freezing up on the mirrors and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah. I had to turn my mirror heater on. What I'm looking at, I can see out of it now, but the front side of it sure looks like a little miniature winter wonderland.
Yeah.
Oh, that's on that Greenland situation. It's like we've been saying, Trump plays four-dimensional chess, trying to negotiate the deal, but also try to get NATO partners off their hind end and start building it up over there. And that's one of the main considerations. And trying to get everybody on board and on the same page because that is basically a way for Russia and other countries not just to slide right on in and all into an aggressive and offensive position quickly. Mm-hmm. And so, here we go again. Yeah, I'm over here at 112 yardstick, and it's getting really thick again. So I better get off here. Y'all be good, be careful.
Indeed.
Oh, crap.
Safe travels out there. He's messing with some nasty fog there. Yeah, dense fog. All right, as forecast from WYFF Channel 4 in the Carolinas. Both South and North Carolina have declared an emergency ahead of the storm. That allows state and local officials to mobilize resources, coordinate response efforts, and prepare ahead of a high-impact winter storm. Now, a state of emergency does not mean panic. It means planning, positioning, and readiness. So help can move quickly if conditions deteriorate. But it's just another strong signal this storm has the potential to create significant impacts with especially the ice concerns. So continue preparing now. Stay weather aware as we move closer to the weekend. Let me see. We got Brain Dead on board, I do believe. Morning, Brain Dead.
Morning there, Steve-O. Yeah, it's going to be an ugly situation here. I've been hearing the weather forecast here. It's all over the place. You look at one place and it says it's going to be 6 to 12 inches. Another place is 2 feet, and another one it's insanity. What I'm seeing more consistently is we're supposed to get about 6 inches and then about 1 inch of ice on top of that.
Ugly.
So that is going to be ugly, and I got to go do our grocery shopping this afternoon because I forgot yesterday. Bad me, but still, it's going to be fun to watch because they're shutting our warehouse down Saturday, and I was talking to some of the other Kroger store people on Facebook, and they shut the Atlanta warehouse down, the Nashville warehouse down, the Portland, Tennessee warehouse down, and I think there's one more up in the Mid-Atlantic that they're shutting down as well. So
wow.
I will say this to Kroger, they are taking this seriously. So if you can, stock up and go pay my salary if you don't mind.
So what are the things, you're making some deliveries and what are I guess stores aren't open 24 hours now like they used to be, are they?
No.
So you don't really...
No.
I've seen some video where places like Tennessee, Texas, people, the lines at some of these stores going from the cash register to the back of the doggone store.
Yeah. I'm going to try to go like about noon, 1 o'clock, so that way I don't have to deal with those people in the afternoon. Everybody gets off of work. So, but no, what I called you about was Yellow. They had the court hearing yesterday, and I'll be glad when this, what show's over with, because this is getting to be a drawn out circus. I know Heatwave was listening, so Heatwave's in a lot better shape than what we are over here. What it is that this MFN Partners, this equity firm, is fighting to get their 100% before everybody else gets theirs. And it's really sad that the greed in this the greed in this country has gone way out of hand. I mean, a lot of the other creditors have settled. I mean, I saw, what was it? The BNSF, they settled for X number of millions of dollars. They didn't get their 100%. They just took their money and went on with their life. So why are these idiots wanting 100% of their money and plus some?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when is this judge going to grow a set of grapefruits and start pushing back at these people? I know Heatwave's just about as tired as I am about getting jerked around and screwed around because of all this. I mean, Yellow has settled the pension plan with the court, has satisfied the pension plan with what the court wants. But MFN Partners is saying, no, we're not satisfied with that. Screw everybody else. We want our money first. And no, that's not the way it should have been. We as employees, we should have been taken care of in the beginning before anybody else was paid out. And so now the attorneys are slowly sucking up all the money because of this greed. And it's really honest and truly sad, Steve. But
yeah.
I did see a blurb, and I don't know if you have a subscription to Bloomberg Law, but I did see that Bloomberg Law website does have an update to the complete story. So I don't have that update to me. So real quick, by the way, I was going to tell you this last night and it slipped my mind. One of my buddies told me he had to go get one of those what do you call that 50-year-old inspection, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes, I do.
And they went back and read the results. And him and his wife went there with the doctor, and they were sitting down discussing the results and whatnot. And Steve, I don't know what's wrong with him. He needs some serious mental help because he has pissed his wife off something bad. Because he sat there and told his wife, he goes, see, I told you, my head is not up there.
Uh-huh.
Out of me.
Very good. Thanks, Brain Dad. Have a good morning. Hey, we were talking Dallas here a few minutes ago. According to FreightWaves, distribution centers, including Amazon's massive facilities in Irving, Walmart's hubs in Fort Worth, could face power outages and access issues, forcing possible closures or inventory backups. DFW International Airport, of course, a top cargo gateway, will almost certainly see de-icing delays, ground stops, ripple effects to airlines' schedule nationwide. Commodity flows through Dallas, diverse, voluminous, underscoring the stakes as a nexus for energy. The region channels oil, gas, and petrochemicals from Permian Basin fields to refineries and exports. Consumer goods, electronics, automotive parts stream through via truck and rail, feeding the Midwest and southern markets. Agricultural commodities, including grain and cotton, flowing outbound, while the imports from Mexico bolster manufacturing. During the ice storm of 2021 that affected the power grid, petrochemical storages disrupted global supply chains, spiking prices for plastics and fuels. Now, if they become iced in, regional freight patterns could fracture. Trucking, already volatile with spot rates up 10% from previous cold snaps, could see surges as capacity evaporates. Of course, diesel gelling in sub-zero temperatures, stranding power units. The protect from freeze demands will spike reefer trailer needs. We talked about in the first hour, protect from freeze. There's a lot of things that can't get below a certain temperature out there. So this could delay some perishables and e-commerce parcels. Exports via the Gulf ports slow down, which will kind of echo Hurricane Harvey's $125 billion hit. Broader implications, multi-billion-dollar losses in just-in-time chains, possibly some empty shelves for essentials, and inflated costs amid ongoing volatility. But as the storm approaches, carriers are preparing anti-gel additives, plans to, in some cases, reroute. But in an era of climate extremes, this freeze could test Dallas-Fort Worth like it has not been tested in years. Shippers, brace for impact, he says. Dallas on ice means America feels the chill.
Want to put your business on a brand that is heard in some of the biggest radio markets on some of the biggest radio stations in the United States? Or maybe you want to have your brand take advantage of the explosive growth in podcasting. Why not do both? The Steve Summers Overnight Drive offers the best of both worlds and is ready to put your business at the front of everyone's waking thoughts.
I'm sorry, am I moving too quickly for you?
Well, at least you'll be on their mind in there somewhere. For sure, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive was recently named one of the top 15 late-night shows in America. So advertising on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive will put you in front of the very clients you want to walk through your front door. Interested? Maybe you want to take a test drive, kick the tires, do a sample tasting, which might be kind of gross. Get details at overnightdriveradio.com or email rwild@lubricationspecialties.com. And let's put the Steve Summers Overnight Drive to work for you today.
Well, we're off the air. For good, I think.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX-15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
fuel additives.
Most fuel additives either impact performance or provide protection. Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment provides both performance enhancement and fuel system protection. Everyday Diesel Treatment delivers a 6-in-1 premium fuel treatment for every fill-up, every time.
Everyday Diesel Treatment is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry, you can download the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late-night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive, available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
We did have a couple of other industry headlines we'll get to coming up here. Starting with the update on the Pittsburgh-based R&R family of companies that were in the news last week. Concerns about are they going under? Let's see. This report from FreightWave says Pittsburgh-based R&R family of companies has sold their logistics subsidiaries, which that's WLX, and WLE, doing business as WLX and Western Logistics Express, as they continue to unwind parts of their business following weeks of liquidity concerns and employee layoffs. Minnesota-based CJK Group announced on the 15th they've completed the acquisition of all of the assets of WLX, WLE. Financial terms were not disclosed. WLX, WLE, headquartered in Kansas City, Missouri, providing logistics and transportation services across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. WLX has 69 trucks, 39 drivers. They will continue operating under their existing brands, according to the announcement, as well as the current leadership changes. No changes to day-to-day operations, according to CJK Group. This is a step, an important step in expanding our capabilities. Now, the divestiture of WLX and Western Logistics Express comes after a series of developments that had placed the family of companies under mounting pressure. Freightwaves, again, about a week ago, said they were facing carrier complaints, executive turnover, tightening credit conditions, questions about lender support, while the company failed to respond to repeated requests for comment. All right, R&R situation kind of intensified following the abrupt shutdown of their trucking subsidiary, Taylor Express, which shut down immediately on January the 12th. I mean, abrupt, cutting off fuel cards, rental car access, other company support. Some drivers were actually left sleeping in their trucks while they were trying to find a way home. Yeah, fuel cards cut off. All right, so update there. And let me see. Eagle, I do believe, checks in once again. Are you with us? Eagle, what you got?
Yeah, I'm still here. Steve, I wanted to go back and talk about what I wanted to talk about last night concerning the weather. We've talked about that in the past, but with this coming snowstorm or ice storm coming up, you know, a mistake a lot of cars make and a lot of new drivers make is when you see these trucks now, because a lot of these trailers, they have ice on the top of these trailers at these drop yards and different places, and all that stuff accumulates on the top of the trailer. And then when somebody picks that trailer up and they get on the interstate, you know, you can see the stuff blowing off the top of the roof. And it's been instances before where the ice falls off of the trailer and goes through somebody's windshield.
Mm-hmm.
So my advice, what I do, if I'm going down the road and I see a truck get on the ramp, getting ready to get on the road, I move over to the left lane and get away from it, because you don't want to get caught in that, you know, because you can be blinded by that snow falling off that trailer. And like I said, there might be some ice in that snow, and it can go through your windshield and bust your glass out, or maybe even do worse than that. So my advice to people is don't ride behind no truck in the snow and ice storms, because you just asking for trouble because you can't see with that snow coming off the roof. A lot of states, a couple of years ago, they were trying to give people tickets, but it's not possible for a truck driver. I'm not getting on the top of no roof and no trailer at 13.6 in sweep no snow off no roof. The roof, they don't pay me enough money, because you slip off that trailer and fall, you end up breaking your leg, your neck, or something. And they don't pay enough money to climb up on the top of a trailer to clean the snow off. But there's no other way to get it off unless you go to a professional, a truck, some kind of guy who does trailer work or something to get it off, have him blow it off or something. But other than that, I wouldn't advise climbing to the top of the trailer. Now, as far as the other situation you were talking about, Steve, and about these people, and they talked about that before, these people that don't want to move over when they see a vehicle broke down on the side of the road. They clearly, they got the left lane is available for them to move over, yet they still don't move over. And I think you said last night that Indiana was saying that they've had some of their police
cars
run over. by these idiots that don't want to move over. Those people should be penalized to the fullest extent of the law. If you hit a police vehicle, if I can understand if there's another vehicle in the left lane and there's no room for you to move over, okay, well, the next thing you do is slow down to the lowest possible speed that you can slow down to without, causing an accident or without hitting the officer. But if there is a space or a truck or whatever, you need to move over to the left-hand lane to give that person room. You don't know if that guy's going to swing a door open. You don't know if somebody's going to come running out on the other side of the truck and don't look, and you run them over because you decided not to move over to the left lane. So that's something that a lot of states are starting to concentrate on, Steve, is these people that don't want to move over to the left lane for emergency vehicles or broken down cars. And as a matter of fact, I talked to a couple of these TAs and Petros. A lot of those guys don't even do road calls no more because they've had some of their workers get run over while they was trying to change the tire out. So because of the stupidity of some of these drivers. So like I said before, if you hit somebody that's on the side of the road because you didn't move over to the left-hand lane, they ought to suspend you. You ought to get a lifetime suspension on your driver's license for being so stupid and arrogant to not move over to the left-hand lane. And I thank you for taking my call.
All righty. Yeah, Indiana said, please stop crashing into our cruisers. On the side of the road, assisting a previous accident. And people just not paying attention. All right, final hour just around the corner here. So see, we'll give it a third time. Third time's a charm. See a blind man. Maybe he had the phone muted. We'll try again. Send your heat wave for round number 2. And, of course, room for you at 844-844-3388. Homeland Security offering some additional incentive for illegal aliens to voluntarily self-deport. What's the latest offer?
Want to put your business on a brand that is heard in some of the biggest radio markets on some of the biggest radio stations in the United States? Or maybe you want to have your brand take advantage of the explosive growth in podcasting. Why not do both? The Steve Summers Overnight Drive offers the best of both worlds and is ready to put your business at the front of everyone's waking thoughts.
I'm sorry, am I moving too quickly for you?
Well, at least you'll be on their mind in there somewhere. For sure, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive was recently named one of the top 15 late-night shows in America. So advertising on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive will put you in front of the very clients you want to walk through your front door. Interested? Maybe you want to take a test drive, kick the tires, do a sample tasting, which might be kind of gross. Get details at overnightdriveradio.com or email rwild@lubricationspecialties.com. And let's put the Steve Summers Overnight Drive to work for you today.
Well, we're off the air. For good, I think.
It's no secret, today's diesel isn't as good as it should be. Diesel lacks lubricity. That can lead to fuel system failure, costing thousands in repairs. But you can prevent those issues with Hot Shot Secret products. Clean injectors, boost cetane, increase fuel economy while adding 4 times more lubricity than the leading competitor. Claims proven by real-world use and confirmed by third-party ASTM testing. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late-night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive. Available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. President Trump says the long-term deal framework on Greenland is now in place, giving the U.S. what it needs for national security.
People are out there and they're working it right now. They're working the details of the deal, but it's what's called an infinite deal. It's forever.
He confirmed that the February tariffs will not be imposed and ruled out using force, emphasizing a cooperative approach with European allies over the strategically located Danish territory. President Trump is not ruling out the possibility of invoking the Insurrection Act in Minnesota, but suggested the prospect was unnecessary for the time being.
No, Minnesota, the crime is incredible. The financial crimes are incredible.
The president weighed in on the matter during an interview with News Nation Tuesday and said he would not have any problem with invoking it if we needed it. John Sommers, USA Radio News.
The House committee investigating Jeffrey Epstein has launched contempt proceedings against former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
Subpoenas are not mere suggestions. They carry the force of law and require compliance. The Clintons must be held accountable for their actions, and Democrats must support these measures or they will be exposed as hypocrites.
GOP Chairman James Comer says the Clintons missed their scheduled depositions, prompting the committee to pursue potential contempt of Congress charges. Fired Navy Admiral Nancy LaCour, removed last August by Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, has registered to run for Congress in South Carolina as a Democrat.
Too many politicians care more about party politics than standing up for the Constitution. That should concern every American.
LaCour says she was removed without cause, but remains not done serving. The seat is open as Republican Nancy Mace pursues the governor's race.
At the closing bell, the Dow rose 588 points. The S&P 500 climbed 78 points, and the Nasdaq jumped 270 points. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
From America's News Network USA Radio News.
Commerce moves fast. Your business should too. If you're not on the first page of search results, you're losing customers. Out of sight, out of mind is true. Don't let that be you. iLocal.net has helped local businesses dominate search results since 2009. For a limited time, iLocal.net is offering a free website analysis to improve the online presence of your business. Local business owners across the U.S. turn to iLocal.net to improve their search engine rankings. Search engines are constantly changing their algorithms. You need the professionals who know how to use those changes to benefit your business. Don't hope for new customers. Get found and be chosen. Call 888-699-2407 for your free website analysis. Don't wait. Call 888-699-2407. That's 888-699-2407. For your free website analysis, call 888-699-2407.
Democrats are introducing legislation aimed at addressing Colorado's housing crisis.
Buying a home in Colorado is costly. Larimer County Commissioner Kristen Stevens says affordable housing is the most important issue her constituents face.
So nearly 50% of renters in my county are cost burdened, which means they pay more than 30% of their income on housing.
That's why she says she supports the first three proposals to come out of the legislative session. Democrats say they're aimed at giving local municipalities more authority on affordable housing projects and getting rid of red tape on the approval and building process. I'm Connor Shreve.
Washington State's unemployment rate is rising slowly, but new jobs are being added all the time.
Washington's economy added 9,000 jobs in December, and the unemployment rate increased a tenth to 4.7%. Over the last year, the total number of jobs in the state declined by 6,600. Leisure and hospitality added 2,900 jobs in December, followed by information and private education and health services. Professional and business services lost 2,200 jobs. I'm Brad Ford.
NASA's Artemis II mission around the moon will carry historic artifacts, including a piece of the 1903 Wright Flyer, flags from the first and final shuttle missions, and one from the canceled Apollo 18 flight. An SD card with millions of names from the Send Your Name to Space campaign will also be aboard. Launch window opens February 6th.
5, 4-stage engine start. 3, 2, 1. Boosters in ignition.
For USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero.
What if the music stopped? If the familiar voices were silenced? If there were no breaking news updates? What if your companion and connection to your community came with a monthly fee? Don't worry, we're free local radio with you wherever you go, celebrating 100 years and looking forward to the next 100. We are broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local radio stations. By the National Association of Broadcasters.
At Hotshot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
Hotshot Secret Diesel Extreme.
Today's ultra-low sulfur fuels leave injector deposits causing frequent DPF regens and low throttle response. Diesel Extreme is a once every 6-month treatment that will clean your entire fuel system, including the tank, lines, pump, and the injectors.
Hotshot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, fine farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late-night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive. Available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
Keep the bugs off your glass and the smokies off your ass. This is the Overnight Drive with Steve Summers.
All righty, I mentioned we had a couple of other industry headlines, starting with STG Logistics, a multimodal transportation and logistics provider, the latest to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the District of New Jersey. This is part of a restructuring agreement. The Columbus, Ohio-based company said this process will eliminate 91% of their debt and create up to $150 million of new capital. STG said the court-supervised reorganization process includes certain affiliates and subsidiaries, and that key financial partners remain committed to the company. We're confident that leveraging the Chapter 11 process will best position the business for long-term growth and success. STG said this announcement marks an important milestone in our effort to strengthen amidst one of the most severe freight recessions in history. Now, they said they intend to maintain standard operations through the bankruptcy process. They have filed motions that will allow them to continue paying employees' wages and benefits, maintain all customer programs, fulfill go-forward payments and key vendors, and execute other ordinary business functions. Debtor-in-possession financing is expected to support the core business operations through this process. It was August of 2024. STG reached a settlement with owner-operators, ending their independent contractor model in California. According to the complaint, the logistics provider controlled owner-operators' operations, including the timing of their work, the work they performed, the steps required to complete it. That was a class action lawsuit, typical of misclassification claims against a number of larger carriers in recent years. Owner-operators accused STG of having a level of control that was substantially similar to what of a company-employed driver would be. That resulted in a $4.2 million payout to more than 400 former owner-operators that followed similar settlements in other states. Still, tough times in the trucking industry out there. All righty, to see a blind man. Did we get our phone fixed yet? That would be a no. Yeah, blind man, if I had to guess, you've got your phone on mute. Because I know he keeps saying, I can hear you, but you can't hear me. All right, what do you say, Heat Wave?
Oh, not a whole lot. I just figured being around the Albuquerque area, for those folks who have not been to or through, I just figure I'd pop off a few places where they can park if they get caught in a storm. In Moriarty, New Mexico, it's east of Albuquerque, about 45 minutes away. There is a 1-9, there is a Pilot, and there is a TA with substantial parking.
Mm-hmm.
There in Edgewood at exit 187, there is a Super Walmart. Just follow the signs. When you go past the first red light you come to, heading north on 344, there's a truck route sign that points straight ahead. Don't go in the first entrance because you won't make it successfully. Well, you'll make it, but you might tear something up. Go beyond to the truck entrance and then park on the north side of the parking lot. Now, they were talking about restricting truck parking there because of the way some folks have acted or parked or left their trash there. So please don't help them make their decision to restrict parking. And there, it's only 2.5 miles from my place, but still, it's nice to be able to know that I can park there in a semi if I were passing through.
Mm-hmm.
So that's at 187 in Edgewood. Then further east you go, there's a Cedillo exit at I think it's the 180 or the 181. I'm not sure of the exit number. There is a Cedillo Hill parking gas station, convenience store, and there is dirt parking in the back of the fuel islands. That's gasoline only. There's no diesel there. But at least that would be a place to park, and the store would open up at, say, 6 in the morning. And then from there on, the next major truck stop would be the TA at the Big I. So, and I think that's a pay-to-park truck stop, so y'all might want to check into that.
Mm-hmm.
On the west side of town, there is a Love's, Central Avenue, and a Trisco Vista. And then beyond that would be the Route 66 Casino and Travel Plaza. They've got truck parking over there, which is still free. There is a Love's at the 6th Street, right off the Interstate 40, but that is not a parking area. All you do is fuel and go. Now, north of Albuquerque, about 30 to 40 minutes away in the Santo Domingo, if you're coming down south or heading up north, that is a reservation truck stop. It has 3 fuel islands, and the store opens up in the morning and closes at night. I think it's called the Black Mesa Casino. So they do have truck parking there, and they do have, a restaurant and a convenience store. It's not really a whole lot of anything else. South of Albuquerque, you have Isleta Casino and Resort. They do have truck parking there on the south side of the buildings. There is a Pilot truck stop there on before you get there, if you're heading south. There's a Pilot that has a McDonald's and parking and showers. And it's all at the same exit if you get off to Isleta. It also goes to the Pilot. Yeah. So Socorro has they don't have a truck stop there. They have a Walmart, but there is I think it's a Marathon just north of Socorro. And, after that, it is just barren till you get to Las Cruces. But if you can make it to Las Cruces, you're probably pretty good. But, yeah, it's just, for those that have not been through there, I know some people have been everywhere. But, for some that have not, those are certain options that you have available. So I don't wish anyone to be stuck out there freezing, but, at least you've got places that have food and
right.
Blankets and whatnot.
And hopefully the employees are able to actually get in there and and run the place, right? Yeah, that's going to be the problem in much of the South when this ice storm rolls in. It wasn't an ice storm. It was the blizzard of, what was it, 94? We were still residing there in northwest Georgia. Lived in Ringgold, worked at the radio station in Dalton. I'd jump on I-75 each morning down the interstate there. But the blizzard of 94, one of the few occasions in my life when I remember experiencing thunder snow. And, we were buried there, and power outages all over the place. Remember that interstates, were shut down. 75 had shut down. They actually had opened up the fire department across the street from where we lived there as a shelter. And the weight of the snow actually collapsed the damn roof on the fire department. No, nobody was hurt, but it was just, that was just... I recall having the radio, trying to tune up and down the dial, with the battery-powered radio to see what's going on, get the latest. And the power outages were so widespread that it was almost an eerie feeling because you could turn the dial and it was just, there were no stations. There was, I think it was WUSY in Chattanooga that apparently had generator backup power. They were on the air. A few other stations, but just an eerie feeling. Our station that I worked at, 98.9, I think it was 3 days before anybody could actually get to the station to set up a generator outside. And I finally got to go back to work. But then reading the announcements from all the, major manufacturing facilities, carpet mills that had shuttered down, the glue, just everything. Going through the proverbial laundry list of telling people don't report to work, no second shift today, we're going to try to reopen operations. And that's the kind of things that we're going to be witnessing here with major facilities shuttering, potentially for a few days. About 17 past the hour, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
Want to put your business on a brand that is heard in some of the biggest radio markets on some of the biggest radio stations in the United States? Or maybe you want to have your brand take advantage of the explosive growth in podcasting. Why not do both? The Steve Summers Overnight Drive offers the best of both worlds and is ready to put your business at the front of everyone's waking thoughts.
I'm sorry, am I moving too quickly for you?
Well, at least you'll be on their mind in there somewhere. For sure, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive was recently named one of the top 15 late-night shows in America. So advertising on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive will put you in front of the very clients you want to walk through your front door. Interested? Maybe you want to take a test drive, kick the tires, do a sample tasting, which might be kind of gross. Get details at overnightdriveradio.com or email rwild@lubricationspecialties.com. And let's put the Steve Summers Overnight Drive to work for you today.
Well, we're off the air. For good, I think.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry, you can download the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive, available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
Plowboy joins us here on a Thursday morning.
Well, good morning, Steve. Thanks for taking the call up. Now, Heatwave was saying TA in Albuquerque. Be damn careful when you get in that one because it's off of I-25, not I-40. A lot of people think you can get off of I-40. Nope. If you try it, you'll damn near get lost. I've been there, done that, and yeah, it's not fun. And yeah, that's a TA I just always stayed out of. But Now, Steve, does the Waffle Houses go on winter storm watches and warnings like they do the hurricanes?
Yeah, they actually do have that, the Waffle House Index, Severity Index for winter weather. I mentioned that a couple of nights ago. Yeah.
Okay. I must have missed that one.
If the Waffle House is closed, you know it's bad.
Damn right. But are we saying there will be no just-in-time deliveries? There will be when in the hell it gets there over this storm? Because that's the way it is looking like. Our model was actually changed. We were like 1 to 2, if any, in Kansas City area. But from what Kansas stormtroopers are putting out, I think it's 6 to 9 north of the line of Kansas City toward St. Joe, and 8 to 12 between there and the Oklahoma state line. And yeah, it's a crazy damn model. But anyway, now Eagle made a comment that just really ruffled my damn feathers because it's twice as happened, sir.
Oh yeah.
Do we not have any Republican lawyers in the land of Minnesota? I'm asking this for a question. Did he not say that the ICE agents got chased out of a restaurant? Am I right or am I wrong?
That was a convenience store. Yeah, there are some restaurants refusing to serve them, and they went to a convenience store to get some snacks and drinks and whatnot, and yeah, they made them leave.
Okay, now where's Pam Bondi and all these attorneys and powers of lawyers at? The reason why I'm asking this, because you and I and all of your listeners have had the same discussion. What has happened in Colorado here a few years back? We won't take your picture because alternative lifestyle. We won't make your wedding cake because of a different lifestyle. And what the hell were they doing? They were suing the hell. They were suing them out of business. Am I right or am I wrong,
That's
Steve?
correct, yes. Mm-hmm.
So, it's just like, it's all right for our way, but not your way. Come on. Wake the hell up. Now, if it's going to be 20 below zero, actual air temperature.
Yes.
Would it not be best if they're going to get out there to protest, to call the local fire department to help support the ICE agent and just soak them bastards down? Would that be just wake up?
Instant popsicles.
You got it. Yeah. Yeah, we'll let you unthaw about 4th of July, and then we'll haul your asses to jail.
You'll be able to stand their jeans up in the corner. What do we have here? About 24 past the hour. 844-844-3388. I mentioned a little incentive being offered for those illegally in the country. Homeland Security, a new initiative encouraging illegals to voluntarily leave the country. This is a $2,600 stipend and a free flight home for those who self-deport using the Customs and Border Protection Home Act. This kind of expanded offer builds on the earlier Home for the Holidays campaign, coinciding with the president entering his second year in office. Eligible illegal aliens who register through the CBP Home app will receive the stipend upon departure, along with transportation arranged and paid for by the government. Participants may also qualify for forgiveness of certain civil fines and penalties related to failure to depart the country. Kirsty Noem said this kind of reflects the administration's push to reduce enforcement costs while accelerating removals. Since January of 25, some 2.2 million illegals have voluntarily self-deported. Tens of thousands have used, they say, the CBP Home program. To celebrate 1 year of this administration, The U.S. taxpayer is generously increasing the incentive to leave voluntarily for those in this country illegally. So this is a $2,600 exit bonus. Now, those who decline the offer, if you stick around, like so many others are finding out the hard way, you will face the enforcement option. Illegals should take advantage of this gift and self-deport, because if they don't, we'll find them, we'll arrest them, and they will not have the opportunity to return again. Now, it's interesting. Homeland Security said the average cost of a single enforced deportation is in excess of $18,000. By contrast, the department estimates the cost of a self-deportation through the CBP Home app, including the stipend and the travel, is a little over $5,000. So we're talking a savings $13,000 per case, per individual. Now, she said nearly 100,000 people have used the CBP Home app, which allows you to submit departure information and coordinate travel directly with the department. More than 675,000 deportations carried out during the president's first year back in office. It was back in May of last year. They started offering initially like $1,000 and travel assistance. Now, they raised that to $3,000 for a limited time during that holiday season campaign, as they called it, Home for the Holidays. Right. All right, coming up, who we got? Pappy's on board. We might give a blind man one final try. We'll see if it works. Who else? Eagle may be back with us as well. It's 844-844-3388. Is this whole battle with California, button heads with the federal government over the non-domiciled CDLs and suspending their licenses? There's actually a California representative that says, we're going to yank the driver's licenses of any ICE agents that wear masks. All while California continues to put off revoking the 17,000 non-domiciled CDLs in that state. I think this is a guy running for office. No, it's Eric Swalwell, he's looking for the gubernatorial nomination. Okay, so if he becomes governor, that explains it. More on that coming up. First, a news break, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. President Trump says a long-term deal on Greenland is infinite, giving the U.S. control over mineral rights and the Golden Dome defense system.
That'll be forever.
While speaking with CNBC, Trump said the framework was reached with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte and is designed to secure Greenland before Russia or China can move in. A federal judge in Portland, Oregon, has denied bail for 34-year-old Luis Nino Moncada, accused of driving towards Custom and Border Protection agents. Prosecutors say he nearly struck multiple agents before one fired, wounding him and a female passenger, who faces immigration-related charges. Defense claims there's no evidence that shows intent to do harm. Wall Street closed in the green.
At the closing bell, the Dow rose 588 points, the S&P 500 climbed 78 points, and the Nasdaq jumped 270 points. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Maybe this is you too. There's enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It is amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled, and it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives, and MediShare is proven. You can save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Over 1 million Americans are now part of healthcare sharing, and MediShare is the gold standard. It's trusted. It works. It's been helping people save money and have peace of mind now for 30 plus years. It's not some big impersonal thing either. It's a community of people like you helping each other. So yeah, if you're frustrated too, here's your chance to make a refreshing change. You'll notice the difference As soon as you call, they're easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number. Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Want to put your business on a brand that is heard in some of the biggest radio markets on some of the biggest radio stations in the United States? Or maybe you want to have your brand take advantage of the explosive growth in podcasting. Why not do both? The Steve Summers Overnight Drive offers the best of both worlds and is ready to put your business at the front of everyone's waking thoughts.
I'm sorry, am I moving too quickly for you?
Well, at least you'll be on their mind in there somewhere. For sure, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive was recently named one of the top 15 late-night shows in America. So advertising on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive will put you in front of the very clients you want to walk through your front door. Interested? Maybe you want to take a test drive, kick the tires, do a sample tasting, which might be kind of gross. Get details at overnightdriveradio.com or email rwild@lubricationspecialties.com. And let's put the Steve Summers Overnight Drive to work for you today.
Well, we're off the air. For good, I think.
Like the men and women who power America, the people at Hot Shot Secret work hard and play harder. We're the fastest growing diesel and oil additive brand in the country. We solve problems. We protect engines. We save you money. And more importantly, time. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Truckers, meet the SpeedMax Pro Max, the tire built for serious hauls and serious peace of mind. With rugged construction and performance you can count on, Pro Max is made for the long road ahead. And here's the best part. It comes with an 8-year warranty. That's right, 8 years of confidence, mile after mile. Ask SpeedMax. Drive far. Drive strong. For more info, call 860-436-4100 or buy online at digitire.com. At TEL, we know what it takes to succeed as an owner-operator because we were founded by one. The big secret? Affordable new trucks. New equipment keeps you moving, improves cash flow, and delivers reliability. For over 20 years, we've helped drivers take the next step in their careers. Call TEL at 866-404-6289 and use promo code OVERNIGHT100. We look forward to meeting you.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry. You can download the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late-night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive. Available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
And now, back to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
So there he is, Eric Swalwell. Okay, now it makes sense. He's the one looking to earn the gubernatorial nomination. As part of his campaign, he's making a vow to yank the driver's licenses of any ICE agent wearing a mask in the state of California. I will take your driver's license away if you operate in our state with a mask and unidentified. If you harm a single Californian, hire the best lawyer you can afford, because I will bring you to justice. I will use every power in the state to bring you to justice. All these threats in the wake of the back and forth between the state and the federal government over those 17,000 non-domiciled CDLs in California that no longer meet federal requirements. The government instructed California to revoke those licenses by January 5th. The state decided to treat those licenses as valid until March, after which the federal government withheld close to $160 million in funding from the state Representative Eric Swalwell's vowing to strip ICE law enforcement officers of their licenses. Disgusting. According to Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin, our officers wear masks to protect themselves from being doxxed and targeted by known and suspected terrorist sympathizers. Not only is ICE law enforcement facing a more than 1,300% increase in assaults, we've also seen thugs launching websites to reveal officers' identities. The men and women at Customs and Border Protection and ICE and all of our federal law enforcement put their lives on the line every day to arrest these violent, criminal, illegal aliens, to protect and defend the American people. Make no mistake, this type of demonization is actually contributing to this surge in assaults of our law enforcement officers. California, back in September, actually passed legislation banning law enforcement from wearing masks while in operation. Homeland Security has since said they will stated that they will not follow that law, arguing that state and local politicians cannot dictate the actions and the policies of what is federal law enforcement. So there you go. Gotta love California. Hello, Pepe.
Wonder if they're going to ban the wearing of masks for any protesters, Steve.
There you go.
Indoor rioters and anything else. I don't think Swalwell has the kahunas to take anybody's ID off that person. Let's just see how that goes for him, right? Steve, it seems to me there was a business a while back, and it wasn't nice. It was regular law enforcement. I think it was back during the old George Floyd thing, where business was refusing to serve. Some local law enforcement and the sheriff came out and said, "Oh, all right, don't call us if you need us for anything. If you're getting robbed, sorry about your luck." Yeah, at the very least, I think that's a pretty good federal lawsuit on that business. Steve, what's the world coming to? What if we we can play that game, right? All you whacked out leftists out there, don't call us if you need us. Anybody that has that doesn't support the anti-American left, just don't serve them. You got a business, blue-haired lady with nose rings come in wearing a Harris hat or something like that. We can play that game if that's how they want to be. Just don't serve them. Kick them out. I think there's a lot more of us than there is of them, Steve, to be honest about it. I don't think they'll win that game. And if they really want to be stupid and start a civil war, I don't think they're going to win that game neither. What else is going on, man? What's happening?
I don't know. Is it going to be 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 18 to 24? Where are we at?
Man, I posted something on Facebook. I said, man, I lived through 1977 and 78, them two winters. Come on, bring it on. Steve, I forgot I was a lot younger back then. Yeah, man, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I guess maybe later on tonight we'll get a better idea on your Friday show.
Right. All the forecasters continue to say that with each passing model run, a week ago, this was going to be a southern storm, just, like from Texas to the Carolinas. And we weren't even in the mix. Every new model run, it's moving further north and further north. And they're now saying the likelihood of a southward shift is less and less likely.
I thought I saw something on the local news here They were talking that it was going to start snowing Saturday afternoon, right? And then the moisture moving north from the south, because they're talking sleet and ice for some of them. If we get any of that sleet and ice, it's going to change the amount of snowfall. We'll go at less snow, right? If we don't get any of the sleet and ice and it's all snow by the time it gets to us, then I think they were talking about, that's when they're talking about the big one.
Right. And it's all about the moisture to snow ratio. Like a third of an inch of rain translates, it could be like 3 to 5 inches at certain temperature. The colder it gets, when you get down to like 15 degrees, it's a really cold snow and it stacks up. That might be 10 inches for
Well, and when you look at the temperatures they're calling for, I'm thinking, how the hell is it going to be even ice or sleet by the time it gets up to us? The temperatures being less. So I think we'll probably end up with more snow, because one guy was saying, no matter what happens, we're getting 3 inches at least. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, right. Well, that means it'll be 13.
Yeah. Man, Steve, I went up to Kroger's. I came back and went, damn it, I meant to grab a gas can and fill it up. So I ran out in the garage, grabbed a gas can, big 5-gallon. I'm looking for that dang on stay bill, and I'm like, oh, man, I used the last of it on the lawnmower. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow, I'm going to run up to hardware store, either Harbor Freight, Home Depot, and get some more stay bill so I can fill up that 5-gallon jug at least. Because the generator, I don't know if our power will go off. You never know. What do I say? Better be prepared. Better to have it not, right? But I got the tank in the generator. It's filled. And at one point, Steve, I had 3, 4 or 5-gallon jugs of gasoline filled up, and it got to the point where I had to use it. It was like 2 years old.
Right.
Even with the stay
and
bill,
even with the stay bill, it can't last forever.
It's made real good use of starting some bonfires out there over there. So I'll tell you that. It'll work. So, all right, bud, I'll get off here so you get some more calls in here, and we'll yak at you tomorrow. Be safe, stock up, be prepared. Thanks for taking the call.
All right, Pappy. Snow Watch Central, right? President speaking at Davos this past day, as we were discussing earlier, just pretty much telling them right to their face, calling out some of these European countries and their open border policies, unlimited immigration, changing the demographics of you can't even recognize them anymore. Canada, calling them out right to their face. The president's economic advisor, Stephen Moore, this past day after that said President Trump is literally schooling the world leaders on sound economic policies at the World Economic Forum, telling leaders from around the globe how to improve their economies by repeating what he's doing here. He said, do what we're doing. And you know what? That's good advice. Moore said people who want to continue to focus on Greenland and Trump's desire to have the U.S. manage it, they've missed the bigger issue. Greenland, it's just a distraction from what's really going on in the world economy, which is what the president talked about today and during most of his speech, which is America is back. Chairman and co-founder of Unleash Prosperity said most world leaders are envious of what Trump's accomplished. We're by far the fastest growing major economy in the world. Europe is flatlined. Japan is not growing very much. China has really been in an economic funk. Everybody's looking at the U.S. saying, how did they do it? Trump, he explained, told them precisely the steps to take. That includes tax cuts, deregulation, free markets, moving away from this green energy detour, which has really hurt the European countries. He singled out energy policies as something Europeans are really paying dearly for their green energy push. Europeans pay twice as much for energy as we do. That's one of the reasons that we've grown so much faster than them. He went on to say that he applauds the president for presenting world leaders with a vision of prosperity. So this was actually Trump taking a couple of victory laps here. He's also lecturing the Europeans about how to get back on track, how to be a growth country. It's as simple as follow the leader. In his speech, President Trump told the forum attendees that the USA is the economic engine of the planet, and when America booms, the entire world booms. It's been the history. When it goes bad, it goes bad. When America booms, the entire world booms, had he put it. Hey, let's get an NTPA update. Can you believe it won't be long? They'll be back in action.
Now that the calendar has changed to January, it's time to look forward to the 2026 season, and it all begins soon. From the NTPA headquarters in Marion, Ohio, this is the NTPA Overnight Report. I'm Greg Hunter. Are you counting down the days till trucks and tractors start slinging dirt? Me too. Good news, the season starts in about 3 weeks. But you do need to go south to catch the shows. That's right, Florida. The NTPA Grand National Championship Polling opens the 2026 season in Inverness, Florida for the first time, having the season open in the Sunshine State. It all begins on Valentine's Day, Saturday, February 14th, and then back on the track again on Sunday the 15th at the Citrus County Fairgrounds, with Region 6 pullers taken to the dirt. With 5 classes taken to the track, there'll be no shortage of action or horsepower. With the 3.0 diesel trucks, modified tractors, 2-wheel drive trucks, minis, and hot farm tractors pulling both days, if you're into polling and looking for a reason to go south, you have just found your reason. NTPA Executive Director Greg Randall spoke about the event saying, quote, "The NTPA is incredibly excited to kick off our 2026 circuit in the sunny confines of Florida. Inverness is the perfect place to launch a season filled with horsepower, innovation, and unforgettable moments. We can't wait to see the stands packed and the track roaring as we begin a new era of NTPA championship polling." Good news, a month later, the Southern Swing officially gets underway in Zellwood, Florida, the weekend of March 13th and 14th, with 4 classes hitting the track. Superstock diesel 4x4 trucks, modified mini rods, 4.1 limited pro stock tractors, and for the first time ever in Florida, light modified tractors. With the defending Grand National champion Wayne Sullivan making the trip for the NTPA Southern Swing, it's sure to be full of dirt, action, and lots of horsepower. The next weekend, the same 4 classes make their way a bit north into Satsuma for 2 nights of polling. If you can't make it to Florida, need not worry. Full Poll Live will be streaming both events, so you don't have to leave the comfort of your home. Speaking of watching polling at home, you can watch every week with NTPA Championship Polling on RFD TV. Every Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern, you can watch the best pollers in the country take the toughest tracks head-to-head. From traditional-looking farm tractors to multi-engine monsters, you'll see them during a look back at the 2025 season with NTPA Championship Polling on RFD TV. If you're also chomping at the bit for NTPA Polling, very simple. You can find schedules, participants, news, and more just a click away, and even get your NTPA gear at ntpapoll.com. It is a one-stop shop for everything NTPA, and you can purchase things to go to every poll, and you can find out the 2026 schedule the moment it gets released. It will be posted to ntpapoll.com. Again, that website, ntpapoll.com. This has been the NTPA Overnight Report. I'm Greg Hunter. Remember, pull hard.
Want to put your business on a brand that is heard in some of the biggest radio markets, on some of the biggest radio stations in the United States? Or maybe you want to have your brand take advantage of the explosive growth in podcasting. Why not do both? The Steve Summers Overnight Drive offers the best of both worlds and is ready to put your business at the front of everyone's waking thoughts.
I'm sorry, am I moving too quickly for you?
Well, at least you'll be on their mind in there somewhere. For sure, the Steve Summers Overnight Drive was recently named one of the top 15 late-night shows in America. So advertising on the Steve Summers Overnight Drive will put you in front of the very clients you want to walk through your front door. Interested? Maybe you want to take a test drive, kick the tires, do a sample tasting, which might be kind of gross. Get details at overnightdriveradio.com or email rwild@lubricationspecialties.com. And let's put the Steve Summers Overnight Drive to work for you today.
Well, we're off the air. For good, I think.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Did you miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive? Or just want to relive a little bit of the magic? Don't worry, you can download the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a single second of the show that was recently named one of the best late-night shows in America. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Steve Summers Overnight Drive so you don't miss a single episode. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive, available wherever you get your podcasts or online at overnightdriveradio.com.
Alrighty, hello, Rick in Columbus. Yes, indeed, round and third, headed for home. Five-7, what do you say? Yeah, nothing new about the Democrats. Well, if you're a MAGA, I guess you don't have a voice or constitutional rights. Okay. Hello, Gary. Southwest. Temperature been going down, hasn't it? Feels a lot cooler outside the secret bunker than it did when we started the program. Here, let me see. One last try. Hey, blind man, we got you.
Hey, thanks, Steve. I've been monitoring what's been going on in Canada. I tune into CFRB, their news talk, and one morning they opened up the phone line, so I called in. And I said, since you hate the United States so much and bad-mouthing Trump every chance you get, don't bother coming to the States anymore. And I got into an argument with the host, and it's just incredible. But I'd just like to know what the Canadians are up to. So CFRB is their news talk station in Toronto, and I get a kick out of hearing them bad-mouthing the USA, but at the same time, they always come here for some medical issue or something, because when I used to walk around downtown Silver Spring, I would run into a Canadian every now and then, and she would tell me, oh, my husband's in the hospital or something like that. And I told one of them, I said, well, if your health care is so great, how come you come to the United States for medical? Oh, I don't want to wait. I said, see, that's the problem with socialized medicine.
Yes, sir, it is.
So I tune in, like I said, for maybe about half an hour to see what they're saying about us. And they have these panel discussions, and they have three people talking before the top of the hour news. It's just incredible how they seem to hate us. Meanwhile, I think Alberta is slowly but surely wanting to become part of they would like to be the 51st state, because I monitor their station too, and they're really fed up with what's going on in Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens, but I just wanted to put my 2 cents in, and Enjoyed hearing Grump earlier this morning, and I just wanted to give a shout-out to him.
All right. Well, good to hear from you. I'm glad you figured that phone out, right? It's just one of those days. Well, of course, when you can't see, it's hard to know it. Where the hell? See, Scrapyard, who chimed in earlier, he was in the freezing fog there. He said, once I climbed out of the river valley on 430 onto the plateau, the temp jumped from 26 to 34 here at the ATM. Let's see. Why be phony? Yes, indeed. Speaking of what the president this past day did at Davos, he said one thing President Trump did yesterday. He was unlike what anyone else would ever do. He was welcomed by the leaders of Switzerland, sat down with them for a few minutes. Then he tells the entire world, we give Switzerland $50 billion a year and we get nothing in return. I had to put my hand on my face with that fearless honesty. They get 50 bill, they give nothing to us. Yeah, there's never going to be another like him. Yeah, Donald Trump, yes. And I mean, calling him out country by country, by name. Roy checking in. Morning. So far, just a few flurries, but really getting cold here in Northwest Illinois. Bitter cold Friday, Saturday, according to the forecasters. Meanwhile, he said Canada's running into arms of the Chinese because the Dodgers beat Toronto in the baseball champion. I think you think I'm joking? They're that petty. All right, with that, we'll have to say that's it. That's all here for a Thursday morning, right? Again, once we come back at the midnight hour tonight, I think some of these forecasters and the models may have a pretty decent handle. Who is actually going to see the snow versus the ice and all the nasty mix for our weekend storm? Hope you'll join us.
You'll never guess the places that I've been. You never guess the places that I've been. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. I'm never gonna let the day begin. Never gonna let the day begin. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, and I'll just make this bed my home. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Better from above. Nothing's ever as it seems, yeah, except in that world that I dream of. Never gonna lose the ones I love. Never gonna lose the ones I love. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that world that I dream of. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, 'cause I can't face this day alone. Oh, darling,